sounds.
Before I start, I'd like to take this opportunity to greet Ma'am Rachel a happy birthday. Those respected presents I can turn on meron, ma'am.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
And of course, my partner,
Ano?
Sorry. Ito nga muna topic. This morning, I was asked and I was given the opportunity to discuss with you about teaching strategies in difficult circumstances. I know that we are all familiar with the different strategies in teaching, but for now, let us try another strategies. Let's learn another strategies based on what Monserrat Lopez Memorial High School teachers have crafted. Okay? So I didn't change anything on the presentation. So the credit belongs to the writers. Let me acknowledge them. Ma'am Rosen Pasete in research and technical assistance from Ma'am Rina Rose Pasete Perez, and support from Ma'am Joey Calimpong, Ma'am Grace Precioso, and Sir Number Quezon. Again, teachers, the teaching strategies responsive of learners in the difficult circumstances in the cards for the learning action cell, the LAC. Good morning. Let's have an overview. Okay, our output is teaching strategies, responsive of learners in difficult circumstances. PowerPoint presentation, LAC the cards, October 26, 2021, venue sa ICT Don Romero Churchill Elementary School. Approximately 1 hour. It depends on how you cooperate sa atong session. Okay? So, basi matapos in 30 minutes, depending on how you respond to our activities and presentation. The objectives for this morning: familiarize oneself to the special educational needs of learners in difficult circumstances, including geographic isolation, chronic illness, displacement due to armed conflict, urban resettlement or disasters, child abuse and child labor practices. And the second one, plan and deliver intervention strategies to respond to varied educational needs of the learners. With much ado, let's start with the framework of our lab session. Starting off with the overview, the opening session, sharing about the experiences. Okay, I'm going to ask volunteers later on. Then you're going to share. Share that with that. Then activity and presentation proper. Maybe you're going to give your reflection and at the same time your experiences. And next step for the next session. So take note of the flow, the framework of our last session. Right, it's lap again. Welcome back, teachers. Time to break an ice. Supposedly I'm going to bring ice. Ano nyo? Galing kayo wala? Break it, may ice. Pero dahil hindi na being a break an ice, icebreaker. Energize mo tayo na. Alright, they called it as lakwentuhan card. Lapat na. Halak ha. Hindi na halak ha. May word ganda. I'm going to ask participants, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to think about the funniest or most memorable thing a student or co-teacher has said to you. And then, I'm going to give 2 participants, Karon, may ask ko, 2 minutes to share your answers with the group. Okay? After everyone is done sharing, mapalakpan karon. Pwede lang mapalakpan. Pwede lang mapalakpan. Daka mo na, ano mo, na gabutan. Ang tiginubrahan ko, jingle.
No.
Everybody is. So, basi karon, during your presentation, you can also do the same thing. Okay, sa inyong presentation. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, sharing. Okay. Meron ka share 2 minutes? Any. Okay, my partner.
Share lang po, 5 pesos to din. Wala. Nang,
I know nga daw pagin mga experiences, hindi nyo pagin ma-share with regards sa mga ako natin. Alright? Thank you very much. By the way, before I forget, mapalakpak na tayo. Palakpak! Thank you, background. The purpose of preparing this particular learning material is to address what the learning and development needs of not only Montserrat teachers, but also home teachers in the Golden Schools Division of CICD, identified and collated from our individual development plan, which can be found on KRA 3.4.2. The inclusion of the KRA 3.4.2 in our RPMS states that teachers are expected to plan and deliver teaching strategies that are responsive to the special educational needs of learners in difficult circumstances, including geographic isolation, chronic illness, displacement due to armed conflict, urban resettlement or disasters, child abuse, and child labor practices. So if you're going to check your RPMS, ang ating RPMS o sa ating pagiging IPCRF, kita na sa ngayon sa KRA number 2, objective number 5. Okay? So, sa ang plan and deliver teaching strategies. Okay, this is in alignment with indicator 2, or KRA number 2, of our COT, Classroom Observation Tool, RPMS, Results-Based Performance Management System. If we want to get a perfect rating of 7, which is the highest, for this particular KRA, during classroom observation, we have to deploy extensive repertoire of strategies. What do you mean by extensive repertoire of strategies? Collection or supply of strategies to create learner-centered environment that addresses the special educational needs of individual and group of learners in difficult circumstances. This is also in line with the DepEd vision. We dream of Filipinos who passionately love their country and whose values and competencies enable them to realize their full potential and contribute meaningfully to building the nation. As a learner-centered public institution, the Department of Education continuously improves itself to better serve its stakeholders. So, even the DepEd says nga ang ano biya sa learner, di ba? Ang ayuhan niya sa learner ang ating na target. And they are doing their best to plan and implement activities and programs that would target ang nilang goal in education. Question number 1. Is this second indicator present in COT RPMS before the pandemic? The answer is already there. Yes or no?
no, that's right.
Huh? The answer is?
No.
Okay, no. Why? The answer is no. It was not present before COVID-19. But today, it takes the second important step in our COT RPMS. Okay, I know you will be asking, nga nag-second siya? Okay, nga nag-second lang siya. What is the first? The first is KRA number 1, objective number 1. Apply knowledge across and within teaching areas. Okay, ano sa number 1? Yung sa number 2. Okay, plan and managalaga. Ano naman ang number 3? Ensure the positive use of ICT. Take note of that. Number 3 is ensure the use of ICT in the teaching and learning process, which can be found in KRA number 1, objective number 2. Okay, question number 2. Why is this so? Okay, this is because by context, the demand for teaching and learning has changed for the past 2 school years. As a result of the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, we know this experience. Okay, the shifted focus delivering education remotely through printed, modular, and blended online modalities. That's why we have this alternative delivery modalities, or the AEMs. Right? A short review. Debit Order number 12, series of 2021, is amended to Debit Order number 30, series of 2020, to address the learning gaps and to give additional pedagogical time to teachers for the different learning delivery modalities. The Department of Education issues this amendment to Debit Order number 30. Okay? Based on the continuous monitoring of the Department of Education in the implementation of the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, or the BELCP, the results, the results of formative assessments, the portfolio of learners' output, and other activities given to the learner, there has been an identified need to address learning gaps in order to meet the required essential learning competencies. So that's why ang DepEd in some way they're doing their best to find ways to find ways to implement programs, or strategies Manila para ma-target nila, ang mga activities and programs nga para sa learner. To address the learning gaps. I'm talking about learning gaps. By definition, it says there, learning gaps are the difference between what the students were expected to have learned by a certain grade level versus what they have actually learned up to that point. So that means, ayun na learning gap. I-share ko lang sa inyo, no? Learning gaps may consequential. One of the most consequential features of learning gap is that if it is left unaddressed, why not unaddressed? Later on, there is a tendency that it will be worsened. That's why it is a challenge for us teachers during our teaching and learning process, especially in the formative years and in the foundation of education in kindergarten, grade 1, and grade 2. Di ba na? We should master the skills. Yes or no? Learning gap na po. Learning gap na lang. What I'm saying. Okay, sige. Address natin ang basic or the fundamental skills. And what are those basic fundamental skills? Hindi kaya ako pala sa Alright, sige. Sige. Yes, I'm talking about the basic foundation. Dapat ang foundation or the formative years of child should be, foundation. Kailangan, ano ang mga foundation or basic skills? The basic skills in the primary education are what we call the 3 R's. And what are those 3 R's? The reading, writing, and arithmetic. Reading, writing, and the math. It should be mastered. Kaya kinalala ng master on that. Why should we master that as teachers? And as pupils, kaya ma-master nila because that is a basic skill. And if it is left unaddressed later on, madala nila, they will find it very difficult to adjust with their peers and with their lesson. That's why
ang mga mingigit sa ino.
Target mo lagi na siya.
Ang mga mingingungugit sa
Okay, in relation to Live by Godsky, I know we have discussed that and mentioned during the previous talk. Live by Godsky, the scaffolding, the law of scaffolding. Ang scaffolding, as teacher, or as teachers, ang ating role is to guide them. And para na-notice lang, ang isang skill, pakal sa isang skill. And that is our role as teacher. Ano yung una to? I-guide na sa para malabutan na sa kaya ang yan ang patay. He or she will find it very difficult for her or him to learn that particular skill. Okay, before teaching the child how to add, how to subtract, how to multiply, and how to divide, ano dapat? Masunod naman nila ang number. Ang number dapat hindi sila lang, Master, 1,000 plus 1 million. 100 plus 200. Excited ka pa doon sa mga that's why we have to master. And the guidance teacher, according to Levi Gotsky, is to guide, okay, scaffold naton ang isa ka skill to do assign or to assign into a ladder of complexity, starting from the basic, the moderate, to the more complicated topics or lessons. The learning gaps are caused when the concepts at the foundation level are not fully learned, what I've said, by the student, and they continue to struggle as new concepts are taught on top of the previous one. That's why ang parts of speech dapat kinanglan ma-master ang bata. What are the 8 parts of speech? Mga verb, mga noun, mga conjunction, and everything before proceeding sila sa mga connotation, denotation, synonyms, antonyms. You don't know about homonyms, synonyms, and antonyms. They have to learn the basic. Diba? Basic na ganito kapag sila. Kaya para nila, kung dahil sa maliban niya nila, advanced learner. Nakapusan sila kay kabalon sila pala ng synonyms. Okay? Words with the same meaning, kabalon na sila ya. Pero ang hari ang nabilin niya, ay may learning gap siya, which is left unaddressed during these previous years, previous grade level, mabudlayan na siya. And that is our role as teacher. Okay? As teachers, ano pa na sila? Right? Any question before I proceed to the next slide? Alright, here, the importance of profiling. It can help teachers better design according to the authors. Doon yung mga sila. It can help teachers better design instructions and materials, intervention strategies for students who lag or fall behind in the course of their studies. Okay? Ano sabot silingon? By the way, ang student profiling, ano ka baka profiling? Just to give you a quick example. Yesterday, there is a paper being disseminated to every grade level, grade chairman, may Ma'am Chris. May alatan niya, grade level enrollment, right? Tapos may alatan, non-reader, slow reader, good reader. That is an example of profiling. Ito profile na daan, meaning you are clustering, you are grouping, and you are putting into group ang ato yung mga estudyante kung di sila nabilong.
Na-classify.
Yan, because of sa ilang level kung di sila na utang. And that is profiling. Okay, may haraman sino nakabalo magbasa, sino nakabalo hindi. Magbasa, kung sino ang tanda ko yung magbasa, sino kabalo mag-isip, sino yung katuwa. That's profiling. Kaya man, to know the strength and weakness of the pupils or the children. Ano ba malaman natin? As teacher, kita talaga, ano?
Ang need follow up.
Yes, pag ang need natin nga, i-follow up. Correct. Alright? So because we believe that learning gap takes many forms, kanila na saya, and there's no one size according to them, and there's no one size fits all solutions. It is important to get to know these children, their strengths and weaknesses, their interests, and the present predicament, most especially during these times of pandemic. Okay? So, natod din siya sa nga kalo kung hindi tayo i-adjust yung pagsuksok tayo. I-adjust na kung hindi kayo go. No. Kinahanglan, we should identify or determine which student needs ang muling knowledge or muling skills. That's profiling. Okay? Pwede mo lang mga status nila. Right? Yes, because we believe that getting to know and helping these children who lag behind is one of the reasons of our being a teacher, the very essence of our calling.
Yes.
Diba? Protect and promote the right of every Filipino and quality to the culture-based and complete basic education where students learn in a child-friendly, gender-sensitive, safe and motivating environment, and blah, blah, blah. So, part sa DepEd nga mission. Okay? Ang atong dito, may nga, tandaan, nakitipago sa kanya ni hashtag para sa bata. And we're doing this for the pupils. Right, from John? We're doing this for the pupils. Okay. Learners in difficult circumstances. No? Learners who lag behind because they are in difficult circumstances. The first picture says there, learners that are geographically isolated. Ano ba geographically isolated? Familiar na niya, no? Familiar na niya. Correct. Ang ilang location or ang ilang place is far from the school or the station. Dito sila yung tutukan nyo. Yes, they are living in the far-flung area. Sino? Yes. Oo. Next, sino yung mga experience dyan? Pino din. Nagano pa? Yes. Oo, familiar. Yung mga kapatid. Sila No, they are located separately. Okay, mga layo sa sibilisasyon, yung mga So, we should not discriminate them. Okay? Dapat sila? Encourage pag-ingat sila. That's why, kita man yung mga teachers, makadumag sa ila, no? So, lagi, encourage mo sila kapag-eskwela. Kung hindi sila madala sa eskwelahan, dalawang totoong eskwelahan sa ila. Okay? We're going to bring the school to them. Second is chronically illness. Kung baka chronically na, chronic, severe na illness, hindi naman basta-basta, subong gani, okay, maambunan ka na sa kasipon ka, biskin ako subong, maambunan ako ng kasipon, gusto mo ng kaso, mga bata, jutay lang, lang sa mga tunog, mga amog, nagasipon, kami nag-aubo. Okay? How much more kung may chronic, pagdating mo ng illness. Okay? Ano nga ito nga intervention as teacher, kung ang bata, wala ka, the child wasn't able to go to school for a week or two. Home visitation, correct? That's one strategy. May home visitation ka lang sa. Tapos i-break ka ang module or kung ano kung kita ang mahimot ka, yung maalas siya. Correct? Pwede ka na sa yung portfolio, pwede mo na mabutang. Bring nutritious food. Ano ang nutritious food? May mga sarap inuisin.
A basket of fruit.
Ang basket of fruits, ang fed fruits, simplano, may mga pintilo ka na, may mga galangan, mga mansanas. Oo, kung may ina pa man na. Rich in vitamin C, at aga mo na sa bibiro, kang hindi mo prutas. Or in-inject na siya. May mo pag-ituto sa iyas, tapos sinuluta siya. Hindi, dapat alam na sila sa mga fruits and vegetables. Aligi-out na siya, why not, diba? Pwede ka dala pero kasi then make sure, sa comment na, maghatag ka sa pero, pag kinabalong sa kong pilain, kasi ibnon yung sa ako, yung mabigyo ko okay na siya. Kaya vitamin C, there is no overdose as long as hindi ka naman matamaan. You're going to drink plenty of water. Kaya kuha na siya sa iyong Yes, nga nga?
Include them in prayer.
Ha?
Include
Wow, wala. Yes, pwede. Pwede tayo siya i-include sa iyong prayer. The most active participant ko yun. Halin sa ICT, malubot ka. The most powerful weapon is prayer. Ano yun ang vitamin C? May naman sa 50 kabilo ka vitamin C ko. Kung wala ba sila makamuyo? Ang ibang grabe inom sa mga, mga
Supplement.
Gulong. Pag-aga, dito kami naging makamuyuan. Ano ba makamuyuan? Okay? So, makadto kita sa Carmelite. Makadto sa Carmelite, nandun na itlog. Itlog ka ba dyan? Ang nandun dito sa Carmelite. Makamuyuan. Okay, di ba? Hindi magulat. Okay? Sige. So, mga chronic illness, no? Ano pa na? Next, may alam na ba kasi kung mga may chronic illness? Thank you very much, Rosita. And again, this place due to armed conflict. Arisan ni Soriata kaya. Ricardo, pag hindi yung this place due to armed conflict, may sa ligat si sa Gemma, Apehero, nagsaido sila kay iba dito sila na ang encounter. Nagsaido sila dito sa mga banoy, gumabot sa katawa, Pero din sa ilo, walang yung mga dati nagpas ka sa aming mga inside ko na sa sound, kay may encounter ko sa akin. So, this place that you are conflict, this is dito sa social. Yeah, that's a good example to you. Especially sa mga nakatabo sa mga Gilburgan, nakatabo sa mga Kalatrapa, this place nila, ang mga bataan. This place nila. So, naka-deprive of the right of education. Okay? Basic right of education. Displacement due to disaster, pandemic, or urban settlement, at with the displacement ng mga kabataan, ito ilang natawag ng picture nga muna, due to disaster, pag-Yolanda to, kubagi, nakatala niya, kaya nagpunta sa pagkakit transfer siya sa Mambula, nagpo-branch na nagpo-branch sa barong-barong, dito sila na that is displacement due to disaster. So, ito siya naman transfer naman sa dito sa barangay Mambula. Okay, pandemic. because of pandemic, ano sila, display sila. Kaya hindi na pangabuhian, for example, ato to, tapos sa transfer, sila mas grabe na dito ang epekto sila. Kasi pala dito nila pangabuhian, for example, na-transfer sila dito, kita na sila pangabuhian. Okay? Kaya may urban resettlement. Next, another difficult circumstance is child abuse. May ikaw muna may share ka mo about sa child abuse. Wala. Yes, mama.
Compare lang, safety just sample.
Yes, so, the most important kita ng parents, i-data na sa bata, i-share na sila nga ang mga bagay dito sa dapat. Okay? So, part sa parenting. Thank you very much. Child abuse, so mo to. Mag-share ko kanina ito kalabo na kami ako sa mga experience mo. Dangerous jobs. Ay, hindi naman yung share ba? May share ka about child abuse? Child abuse, wala na. Dangerous jobs.
Subong niya pa
Okay, ano ang dangerous jobs? Ano ang dangerous jobs? Experience child difficulties, reasons why children work. And labor is rooted in poverty, so in relation to our next picture, children with unemployed parents or whose parents do not have social security must work to help in their family struggle for survival. So, sabto yung dapat ng mga balon, sabto yung kabigado kami ang mga kagulig ng aming bata. So, ano biyang possible intervention natin sa muli? Bata ka, child labor, ano
Pero,
ikaw sa bachelor, sa among
Hindi.
These are the difficult circumstances. Geographic isolation, chronic illness, displacement due to armed conflict or unsettlement, disaster, child abuse, child labor practices, poverty. Okay, so ano ang dapat mga suggested intervention strategies to foster academic ease? Okay, from these academic ease measure appropriate for individual learners' context or need, reconsideration of time allotment for the completion and submission of activities and additional enrichment activities in the SLM or LAC being offered only to the past learners. So, na-emphasize din ang quote-unquote day ang academic is. Ano mga ba academic is?
Old face niya, mag-learn siya. Hindi ko siya mapilitan. Pero sa akin na ay mong kasubong.
Yes.
Kung hindi ka matapos sa control, sa pag-play,
Yes. Okay. Yes, so ginahin mo isa para makatagal time ng bata na hindi siya ma-pressure sa isa ka bagay yung ginapaubra sa iya. Isa na example lang, di ba nga ito nga hatagay mandigid, sa amin yung sabihin, mandigid. Hindi ba basa ang parent? Kaya mo na, pwede ka ba siya? Pwede na extend in the week, ha? That's academic case. Hindi natin, we should not pressure the child na magpasa. Yung pinagpasa kami sa bandehan, kumunit. Okay, dapat pin-academic case. Right? So, part is
should give ample time to our learner.
Yeah,
Pagka independent learning, bigla mo.
yes,
So,
correct.
kailangan pacing is different. Kung
Yes.
sila yata.
I-consider na last year kung wala maka face-to-face class.
Magandang pacing nila. Kung ang mula ni kaya, ya pati na ang competency, makuha na yung amal.
Oh,
Kung
yeah.
natonta din na sila.
That's why hindi kita mapiliw.
Oo, wala kita sa
No.
hindi kita makapagay sa learning. We have to wait until such time the end of the school year.
Yes.
So, ang ato nang imuon is to follow natin. Natapos mo na ta, ano pa nakapart, hindi mo na yung chikihan, ano ang learning competency, and you find it difficult.
Yes. Correct. Sa akin, hindi pala sa akin nga learning task na, sa muna pinaka-answer na take call ka mo. May take call. Kasi kung ano niya, specific na lang, ang assessment na lang naman sila namon. Oo, or ano lang yan, hindi tanan. Pero may harap niya parents, kaya kung hindi ka take call. Wala silang activities in the SLM class can be offered only to past learners. I-answer na lang ang mga activities sa past learners na gina. Yung iba galing ka struggle na may mga learning gaps sila mo, balikan ko. May mga learning gaps sila sa una mo, hindi sila kapalusin sa basic concept ano pa ng ano. So, sa past learners na naipakata. Okay? Okay, DepEd suggested measures to foster academic ease. Determine task activities contained in the SLM or LAS that may be declared as optional. So, pwede na na, no? I-declare ng example, optional na lang sira na lang ang muli nga activity mo. Pwede lang din. Pero kung gusto mo niya, maka-learn ka pag-game, malugamit mo knowledge, then go. Pwede man yung hindi. Tapos yung pinakuli ka, gano'n, malubo ka na. Okay, that's all. Go mga pwede ko. Na-time mo. Ang maganda nga, advice to your to, kasi pwede ka donate sa amon sang projector, or kasi ka donate sa amon bond paper, or pedal pen. Pwede tagay, dahil tapos sila mga external na stakeholders para makapulay sa mag-provide sa materials. Especially now, may scarcity kita sa materials. Okay, ay, galing ako. Ang ilang local version, okay? Some differentiated teaching strategies and contextualized interventions. Prepared radio or TV-based instruction for the elementary level. So, with the elementary level, RBI, prepared teachers made contextualized and localized learning material. Okay, teacher ko ba sabi ko mga material na localized. Ano naman yan? Ito, yung mga bagay na available sa ilang lugar or sa akong experiment kung wala sila mansana, wala sila eggplant, wala sila potato, ang mga nada kamote. Kamote na nada kung wala nandito. Okay? Kaya, within their locality. Or ilang
Ano?
Home visitation by bringing
collaboration with other subject areas. Prepare teachers make contextualized material. Collaboration with the other subject areas in preparing assessment tests. Ito ng performance task. Kasi unang kita na ito, kina-link na ito dali. Di ba la? Sa unang may arap ko lang mo science, English, isa na lang. Oo. Kaya academic is for bata.
Isa na lang ang
Isa-isa.
pero tatlo na subject. Ano na kailangan mo siya? Walang manibigya ko. Nalagay individual lang. Inakay sa
Pero hindi mo din. Ibo na subject ko po eh.
Teaching, no, pwede matuwa.
Oo.
Ganito sa performance, ano,
pero ang department na lang, isa ng bulay, may pagkakong
para man sa academic isa man. Home visitation by bringing food bags, learning materials, modules, and live chickens to learners at live situation. Magkakatire need, desperate day meeting. Okay? Doon, alam niyo na mo, direct.
pero mostly, namin nagdoda sa stage with the parents.
Kasi, LC, kami ito kahapit, dito na ito bakal sa ano, hindi pa po yung bus, ito bakal sa live chicken. Balik ko, hindi na sa sulit, kami bakal ito makikita.
Balikin mo, hindi ka ng home visitation, ikaw ang ginatagaan.
Mas, pinatataas, para may
Ikaw ang ginamamahot.
So tayo nyo, patala sa reading assessment, pinapakaon ng mga kapere.
Kaya kami, no, tapos kami galing padala.
Putting up special projects like lingap para sa Manila. Ano ba lingap? Balikid, no? Balikid. Ulit dan naton ang mga ligado sa barangay Bagti. Module distribution and community pantry. The consideration version. Barangay Ilobes, module mo, Tultongko, Barangay Mabula, among others to bring the school closer to the communities. Kita mo, bra man sa ating intervention, yung mga strategies, hindi mo local version. Okay?
Manok mo, dulong.
Ay, designing specialized learning activity sheets, video lessons for fast learners who have strong learning activity. Video lessons. Sige ba, nakita ko nila sila Sang na-YouTube video sa ilang lesson. So, sa direkto.
Hindi ko may wala.
Pero may piso wifi na tap. Ay, siguro, kasi pwede man makaano. Kaya ay, depende sa signal. Hindi ako mag-signal location.
Ikaw ang artista, malimang place.
I-download na lang kami. Kung pwede download, hindi na download din. Kami din, supports quality literacy program by putting up book pantry inside each English teacher's classroom. Pagbasa, pag-iluhay with kids versus COVID. The program sponsored by friends. Book pantry, hinayaan nato niya. Bukas pantry. Bukas pantry? Baho pantry. Baho pantry. Kung sino sa baho pantry? Baho pantry. Wala, hindi na baho pantry ha. Baho. Baho yan B-A-J-O. Ano naman? Books, articles, journals, kag others. Diba? O, de. Baho pantry. Inside each English teacher classroom, pagbasa, pailuhay dinugit. Ano ito naman? Pagbasa, pagbasa, pailuhay. Ay, ko na.
Sa legal to pala, kaya lang nakabataan ng mga slow learners to, dahil yung pinapabasa, may pugas na sa
Through storytelling techniques. Ari ko na ilang intervention, no? Sa counseling through storytelling techniques, ang hindi mo ilang istorya sila, pero the counseling is si ano to black grade 1 to kabata pala, nagkanto di sa o, pag nangapat sa, hindi na pala yung iyang inahin mo, yung ginamo na karong pinamili sa counseling through storytelling. Nag-attend na story, pero kung na-like, kaya sa bata, kaya hindi mo rin mag-ipuon, kaya kita po sa blasang pulis, ang sa o. So, kami nila sa counseling through storytelling. Pero nag-counsel na sila nag-like. Ilang best practices during pandemic. Providing na nilaging natutugin na mga teachers kung din ang ilang ano.
Pero high school teachers sila, sir.
Kung din itong ilang mga batang mabigat, kung ang cluster na nila.
Mag-follow up.
Module distribution and community pantry at Manilo is
Pagkuha sa plastic bag.
Wow, ito.
distribution. Mayroon pala sa unang aming ano gawin talaga yung itlog lang. Public stakeholders in support of the literacy program. Thank you, Mrs. May de la Peña and Ms. Anger Dose and Mr. Joe Desma for the second hand book. These books are still a receptacle of knowledge. Meron din mga nag-alog din sa aton books. Ito ay may lahat mga tao na outside. Ay, correct po.
Ang ito din sa Roger, pero may ito din pa ng live mga
Mas may mga projects sa mudra.
Why nakabalik ng Korea kasi
Pwede pa sa ako.
sa US na sila na ganyan ko lang na sila.
Book pantry today, I'll be there tomorrow.
Sadya sa unang kasi
Department. Grab a book and discover the world. In support of the project, I read. Let's make every child a reader in the books. Dahil mali Nakita ko I love books. Books ka din. Okay. Next. Go countries on parade. Kami daw may sila.
Ganun dito sila.
May ano binigay ka na share ka na classroom nila. May
Collection sa
book country.
Reader's
Basta kayo
Digest.
ang higit kontra COVID.
Tama na, may mga supply din sa school, pwede ka na magamit na ipapayot sa mga kinabasaan na.
Nandiyan si
May mga, di ba, may mga washing soap
Like,
pa tayo.
di ba, like, ato, talikan na na.
Pwede ka pala naman may ano ka to, may buha ka to kapak, magaling ka, na soap, di ba mamay? Pwede ka to pala magamit na ano ka.
How do we apply our new learnings in our profession and teaching practice? Paano tayo apply na learn na subo sa atin nga ano? We'll come up with a new strategy.
No, 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 no.
Next session na nito. Next session. Next session. Ano may akin na soon?
PCRF na yan.
Given this 26th day of October 2021 at the Numerous Technical Elementary School, Barangay Kapitan Silay City, Negros Occidental, Philippines. Dr. Catherine R. Acusado, aming school district supervisor, Conference School Head. Okay,
So,
Congratulations, sir.
it will not be possible without the effort and the cooperation of the group. This whole group.
And for all the participants for very active participation of the school learning action cell natin. Okay? So na namin, di ba ito kan live school may harap, kita kan laksasyon. Yung mga sharing of ideas, experiences. So, kita dira, it's one way of benchmarking man dayon for our new teachers, mga mo, especially this difficult time. Okay? So, thank you so much.